1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
A few notes from the NFL. All right, so the 49ers, their wide receiver Brandon Ayuk and the team basically separated during the season. There was a lot of issues with the way Ayuk has been practicing, rehabbing, all these other things, and it just San Francisco just basically, you're not getting guaranteed money. We're going to kick you to the curb. Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, GM John Lynch, both do not want Brandon Ayuk back. But Jed York, the owner, a different perspective. Quote from York, I think anything's possible, right? I mean, we want to make sure that we have as talented a roster as possible. First and foremost, Ayuk needs to get healthy, be able to perform. I think once that happens, he's a really, really good football player. Now, you always want to leave your doors open, right? You don't want to, and I think with York, it could be as simple as, look, we want people to think that we might bring him back because maybe we can get something for him, something. Like right now, all you're getting, to be honest, is probably a pair of cleats. Maybe a mouth guard. Because everybody knows around the league you have no desire to continue on with Brandon Ayuk. So we'll see what happens here. It's very interesting. Look, Ayuk healthy is a heck of a player. He's just not, he hasn't been healthy. That's the issue. So we'll see where it goes. San Francisco has brought in Mike Evans, wide receiver from Tampa Bay, who's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. Christian Kirk, who when healthy is an interesting piece as a number 3 receiver. So they have brought in some weapons. And I think Brandon Ayuk, I got a better chance of playing for the 49ers than Brandon Ayuk, just saying. The Dallas Cowboys are unsure if George Pickens will attend the offseason program. Pickens is getting franchised, coming off a career year. Pickens obviously wants the contract with the big guaranteed money. So Pickens could sit out a lot of the offseason program because that's what you can do if you're being franchised. Now, again, Pickens will make only, who could live off of this, Cale? $27.3 million.
Yeah, not me.
I mean, his wife's going to have to work a couple of jobs. It's going to be tough on the family.
We make way more money than that here.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't crack a mic for only $27.3 million. I saw something kind of interesting, a little blurb on ESPN about coaching, and this is football. College football coaches and teams are likely to improve in 2026. And if you spin down to the top 20 coaching ratings of last year, Curt Cignetti had the top coaching rating. I know it's shocking. Joey McGuire, Texas Tech, is second. Again, the Red Raiders made the playoff. Clark Lee, Vanderbilt, third. The top-ranked coaching performance in the SEC. Really not a surprise.
He's done a phenomenal job.
I mean, I always want to give credit to coaches who evolve. Clark Lee, a couple of years ago, took a step back and said, I got to get better. I'm not an offensive guy. I'm a defensive guy. I got to get an offensive, really good offensive-minded coaches in here because that's not my wheelhouse. Brought in Jerry Kill, the assistant, who was the head coach at New Mexico. Brought Jerry Kill in, who is a very, very smart offensive guy. But if you don't know about Jerry Kill, he has health issues, some seizure situations, and he just couldn't be a head coach anymore. He's had it happen multiple times in his career. Also coming with Kill was a dude named Tim Beck at New Mexico State. I'm sorry, I said New Mexico. So Beck came with Kill, and so did some guy named Diego Pavia.
Who's that guy?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, me neither.
And you see what happened. Vanderbilt all of a sudden, offensively, became really good. And that's because Clark Lee took a minute, took a step back, and said, you know what I got to do? I got to bring people in here and know what the hell's going on the offensive side of the ball. Also, and they said this during a game, this isn't me. I forgot who was doing this game. It was a South Carolina-Vanderbilt game. I can't remember who was doing the game on the SEC network. And they said Clark Lee, when he first showed up and for the first few years, Clark Lee had this big mission, to bring in guys and mold them and make them good young men and make them ready for life and teach them all these lessons of transitioning yourself from young adulthood to the real world and all those things that are really important in life. But Clark Lee was losing games. So Clark Lee basically was like, screw all that stuff. I just got to get dudes to help me win games. And to Clark Lee's credit, he evolved. And look what Vanderbilt's done in the last couple of years, especially last year, winning double-digit games.